You had a chance to choose what this video is gonna be about, and you picked PS Vita. We'll keep the other two machines for later. You see, Sony, what you had. People still can't get enough of PS Vita even after a decade, and all you care about is some PS5 accessories. Just look at the PSP. You did great things with it. That's what we are talking about today. How you were able to make PS2 and PS3 games run on your handhelds, often even enhancing the experience, so it ended up better than on consoles. So let's get into it. And let's start with the shining example of enhancing the experience even on weaker hardware. Star Wars Force Unleashed for PSP. I would say this is the definitive version of this game, cause it offers by far the most content. Yeah, clearly graphics are downgraded compared to its console counterparts, but it is full-fledged game, plus it has ton of extra features on top of it that are nowhere to be found elsewhere. Besides 5 hours long story mode, it has extra historic missions, Force duels, and Order 66 mode with loads of unlockables. You can only play these extras and you're still gonna have a great time doing so. When I first played this game back in the day on my PSP, I was astonished it can even run it. And I had no idea it is also playable on consoles. I felt like a proper Jedi badass, and I still feel like it when I play it now. You know what else makes me feel like a badass? When I play PS3 port of Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus on my PS Vita. If you ever wanted to feel like a ninja assassin, this is as good as it gets on the Vita. I especially appreciate the extra easy mode called Hero, but even with this super easy mode, it is super challenging to progress, cause the game is insanely hard. I'm sure you know Ninja Gaiden series, and button mashing won't get you far. Frame rate is capped to 30 FPS, unlike the 60 FPS on the consoles. Using overclock is recommended to avoid any frame drops, but at least the gore stayed intact, unlike the family-friendly PS3 version. Vita version also offers new sets of accessories that can be equipped. Port of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Plus is also available on the Vita, but you need to do some extra Vita graphics tweaks for proper experience. You thought I'm gonna include only official ports? Hell no, homebrew ports are 100 times more impressive, cause they are usually made in the bedroom by individual, not by the whole studio. Exactly like the port of Max Payne. Yeah, I know, technically it is a PC port, but I'm counting it anyway, cause it is a damn impressive piece of homebrew. It is based on the mobile version of the game that received HD treatment, so it runs in PS Vita HD resolution. PG Team made a cool mod for it that restores and improves some of the things missing in the mobile version compared to the PC, including change interface using PC assets, camera is closer, Max can now even crouch, plus much more. Some people prefer vanilla, I prefer this mod. Huge thanks to the team for making it happen, and huge thanks to Herman, new channel member. Respect, brother, much appreciated. Thanks to guys like you, we don't need to do this shopping like a billionaire segments. Next damn impressive PS3 game that you can play in its full glory on the PSP is port of Dantes Inferno. Yeah, who'd have thought PS3 games are playable even on PSP? But Sony proved us wrong. I wish they wanna prove us wrong more often. I'm looking at you, Portal. This game belongs to my top 10 PSP games of all time. No wonder why. Feels like a God of War. Couldn't stop playing it back in the day. I think it's time to revisit it. Boss fights are insane, especially the first one is hard as hell, cause you need to learn how to fight, and the death is not holding back. Do you know which other port has insanely hard initial boss fight that you will need at least 15 minutes to beat it? Prince of Persia Revelations, aka Warrior Within with shittier graphics, but enhanced content. There were new levels added to the campaign, graphics might be shittier, but they are still stunning for PSP. Also make sure to overclock for stable frame rate. My love for Prince of Persia started with the first DOS game back in the 90s, and it carried on through all the amazing old school trilogy, but it was suddenly brought to an abrupt end in 2010 when Ubisoft decided, go to hell Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed is where it's at. Will it change in 2024? I'm yet to find out. PSP has also Rival Swords, aka port of Two Thrones, so only Sands of Time is missing to complete the trilogy. Instead of Sands of Time, we have Forgotten Sands available, which is not bad, it is different and insanely hard too. As you may know, there is not many solid racing games on the PS Vita, so it is no wonder I'm including port of Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, developed and ported by Criterion, the Burnout makers. This is a port well made, game is well made too, frame rate is stable. If you are a racing fan like me, I'm sure you already heard about it, still I wanted to at least mention it, because it absolutely deserves it. And if you are enjoying this video, it deserves to be liked and subscribed upon if you haven't already. For next homebrew port, I was considering GTA Trilogy cause that's the one that comes to mind straight away, but instead I've chosen something a little more obscure, but super impressive nonetheless. Port of Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, third-person action-adventure game. This is a port of remastered mobile release. It is not exactly my cup of tea, still to have this available on the PS Vita via homebrew means it is a dream come true. Also don't forget to play this game with 30 FPS frame cap for optimal experience. So many great PS2 games were ported to PSP, Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast being one of them. It is blast to have it in here. I loved what Sony was doing, making PS2 games accessible even on a handheld. They partially carried this trend to PS Vita with some great PS2 games ported, like God of War, Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Ratchet & Clank, Final Fantasy and so on, but often the ports felt half-baked and not really properly pulled off, like the cutscenes in God of War collection that were thankfully fixed thanks to the homebrew enthusiasts and replaced with proper HD videos from PS3 HD collection, and it doesn't hurt anymore to look at it. I'm giving them props for at least doing it, but imagine if they carried on with this trend. PS Vita could have had so much happier life. Silent Hill, Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, Shadow of Colossus. That would be almost as a PS2 portable. That's what everybody wanted anyway, right? Another PS3, PS Vita port well made is a Mortal Kombat 2011. Pretty graphics with 60 FPS frame rate. That's a great combination for success. It includes all the features from the complete edition and adds new costumes and new challenge tower that are not available on the console versions, as well as touch controls for finishing moves and other exclusive features, but it also removes one stage. I can already see you eagerly waiting for next homebrew port that is gonna blow your mind, and here it goes. I unearthed this hidden gem called Trail of Ibn Battuta. It is an Uncharted clone. The homebrew port is mind-blowing because it was done by a single person. It is also on PS3, so it counts as a console port. The game itself, on the other hand, is not really good. There are some broken gameplay mechanics, graphics, clunky animations and controls. It received 11 out of 100 on Metacritic. It is laughably bad, so if you wanna have a good laugh, you might want to try it out. We'll finish this video off with some more homebrews, cause I know that's what you are all after. Hollow Knight, technically also PC game, I'm included in anyway, cause it was just released. Also done by single person. It is solid experience. Most things have been ironed out. There are just bit longer loading times when you change the room, but I think that's just the limitations of Vita hardware, cause this port is pushing it to its absolute limits. You might even remember that it was abandoned once, luckily not for good. Next console quality homebrew port that is not fully finished yet, you cannot save, cutscenes are bad, but it is on the way to be fully playable, is Simpsons Hit Run. We all can't wait, I'm keeping the hype up, and the cherry on the top is gonna be Sonic Mania, initially released on PS4, Xbox One and Switch, so it is a next generation console port running on the Vita, all thanks to it being decompiled. Special stages run a bit slow, but it is the plus, the enhanced version with all the DLC included. I'm kept being overwhelmed by how amazing the Vita truly has become. Homebrew community made it so much better, even after Sony abandonment. Thanks for watching, thanks to members and patrons for support. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, join, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out!
Whatever food doesn't kill me, makes me stronger.
I think you will find the cylindrical meat casing